Okay, hopefully I'm live. We'll find out in just a second. I haven't done this in a while. Hello, everybody. And I haven't been live in a while. I haven't posted a video. I haven't done anything. So probably going to be a bit of a quiet night. And I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. Let's just hope that it actually shows me as live in just a second. It doesn't seem to be showing me live on TikTok. I mean, I'm live, so like... Come on. There we go. I'm live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody's doing really well. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're here and we're ready to get started. Hello, Tristan. Nice to see you. Welcome. I'll probably mention this a few times. I don't know how long of a stream this will be. It might be a very short stream. Because I don't want to talk about it the whole time because I don't want it to like turn into one of those kind of streams. But my father passed away almost 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. It was very sudden and it's been a very stressful time. And so I'm not like 100% back yet, like emotionally. I'm still feeling pretty worn out. Like last night I went to work extra early so I could be home extra early. With the idea of like being asleep by 3, so I could being asleep by like 2:30, so I could be up by 10 today, and get ready for the stream to start at around like 11:30 and 11:30, and I was still up at like 5:30 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. Every time I would start to fall asleep, I'd have like some random memory of my dad pop in, and it was not fun. Not to mention, totally different reason. My air conditioning broke at my place, the central air, and the landlord, being the awesome landlord that all landlords always are, has just ignored my text messages about the air conditioning being broken. So it's really warm in here. It's not like, you know, Texas heat, but it's warm. You know, we're sitting, let me see real quick. Merle, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Give me just a second here. 30. Yeah. What the heck? Why didn't it type? 3 times now. 3 times I had to type this because I've gotten it wrong each time. So we're sitting at about 86 Fahrenheit. It's about 30 outside right now. It's really warm. It's really warm. And it's not fun with the air conditioner being broken. The apartment is fairly, or the house is fairly well insulated, which helps, but it's humid in here and the air conditioner goes on, but it's like, it's a weird situation where the air conditioning potentially might be making it warmer in here. So I just turned the air conditioner off because last night it was working okay. During the day, all day, it didn't work, and then I had it off for most of the day. And then last night I turned it on when I was getting ready to go to bed because it was just so hot in here. It was sitting close to like 80 in here. So I turned it on and it got really nice and cool. But then I woke up this morning and it was really hot again. So I turned the air conditioner off to see if by giving it a rest, maybe I can have it be nice and cool for tonight. It just stinks. I'm doing okay, Merle. I'm doing okay. I'm still feeling really emotional, which really stinks. I was just mentioning, there are moments where like I get a random memory of my dad, which kind of sucks. You know, it's nice to think about him, but it just really sucks sometimes. Like I would like to just have like a moment where my brain shuts off, but like random things will pop up. I'll open my phone and there will be a picture of him. Or like I was going through my text messages and then I found the last text messages he sent me where he said he loved me, which my dad rarely ever did. You know, stuff like that. Or like his bass is in my room and like I just stare at his bass. Stuff like that just kind of hits home. But overall I'm doing okay. You know, it's been about a week and a half. We're getting close to 2 weeks. No, it's been 2 weeks. Sorry, everything's a blur. It's been 2 weeks. What day is it today? Is today Tuesday? Okay, so it's been 2 weeks. There's still a lot of stress going on. You know, still dealing with stuff. I don't really want to talk about the details because they've asked me not to speak about it, but I'm still dealing with insurance issues. And this is out of their control. It's not them that have done anything, but basically like the doctor that needs to sign off on everything has gone on vacation, and his replacement doctor who covers for him when he's on vacation is also on vacation, and so the office is open with no doctors in the office. So we just have to sit and wait till the doctor comes back so we can get him to sign off on my dad's death and everything. So it's been really stressful. It's been everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. We couldn't do a funeral for my dad. We couldn't do, a viewing to say goodbye. We couldn't do any of that stuff. That I'm definitely not going to go into details with. But it's just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like everything, every single thing. So it's been rough. It's been really, really rough. I'm having a hard time eating right now. I'm eating because I get hungry, but not because I actually want to eat. Does that make sense? Like even right now, like I'm having something because I know I'm going to be streaming for at least an hour or two, and I know I'm going to get dizzy if I don't. But I'm not hungry at all. Yeah, it's rough. It's just been rough. That's all I can say. Inuyugi, hello, nice to see you. Night Owl, hello, welcome. Only for this, hello, nice to see you as well. Brian, good morning. How are you? Mr. McJuggy, hello. No. What was that? 12? 12? I don't know how to say your whole name. Hello, Dark. Nice to see you as well. Yeah, the McJuggle, I appreciate that. It's a me, Wario. I'm gonna win. No worries. I'm just catching people up. For those who don't know, my father passed away. So I haven't done any real content. I did a couple of videos because my hand was kind of forced. But I haven't really done anything. It's been a lot to kind of take in. Like I'm a grown man, but my dad was still young. Like he was 59. It was very sudden. Like he had been sick for a while. I'm only gonna talk about this for a little bit, then we'll get into gaming because I don't want to make this all into like a whole I'm sad, let's talk about being sad type of thing. I've had some really, really great friends that I've been able to talk to, so don't worry. It's not like I'm shutting down either and I don't want to talk about it. It's just there's no need to like bring everybody down. I'm here to like kind of turn off my mind and enjoy, but I want to update everybody just so they kind of know where I'm standing and what's kind of happened. So my dad was 59, really young. He had been sick for a while. He'd been diabetic for a long time. He got diagnosed with diabetes at 34 or 35. I want to say it's 34, but I'm going to say 35 to be safe. It was fine. He was starting to get some of the long-term effects, like he was getting tingling in his feet and stuff. His sugar was getting hard to manage. But overall, he was doing okay. And then he started to get really sick over the last few months, and he went to the hospital, oh God, almost a month ago now. Was there for almost a week, then got out, and then 2 weeks later went back in. This last time that he went back in, the doctor was pretty much trying to prepare us, like saying this may be it. But my dad was conscious. He was with it. He was slurring his speech. He wasn't able to stand up, but he was with it. Like he was having conversations. He was making sure that he was up until the moment he got into the car heading towards the hospital. He was checking, or not the ambulance. He was checking his phone to see that his payments had gone through for his car. Like he was still with it. And then when he got to the hospital, they were trying to control his blood and his blood sugar, because his blood sugar was through the roof. And they were starting to like settle him. He was starting to talk normally again. He was okay. He was wanting to sleep because he was tired. And he told my mom to go home. And so we were all expecting that it was going to be, if he was going to have a turn for the worst, it was going to be one of those, we're going to call, they're saying he's getting worse, and we need to rush back to the hospital. And then like an hour and a half, 2 hours after my mom left the hospital, he was dead. Like it was just, that's it. They never told us what happened. They never told us like the events that led to his death. So we don't know if it was like a heart attack or if his heart just stopped. We are of the belief that his heart just kind of stopped. But he was DNR, which is do not resuscitate. It's don't do anything to keep him alive. So he just died. But it was very, very sudden. It was very, very weird for us because you usually kind of prepare when somebody's gonna go downhill, and it was just he's gone. That's it. So it's been very, very hard. Like my niece was just born like a week before my dad passed away, and he didn't get to meet her, and his grandkids were his world. So like it's just been it's been tough, and like I said, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. We didn't get to do the funeral. We didn't get to have a viewing. you know, I had to have a private goodbye with my mom and my brother, and it was not a good experience. Nobody's fault. It was just the way things went, but it was not a good experience. The life insurance went bad. Like it's just all been bad. So like death is hard enough to deal with, but then you have all these other issues on top of it. It's a lot to take in. So I've taken time. I'm still not in the right mind frame to really be back for content, but I am of the belief that if I don't try to start, you know, streaming and doing something normal again, I'll just, you know, wallow away in self-pity, and I'm not doing anything anyway. I'm just sitting on the couch being sad. So it's not really effective for anything anyway. Nikki, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Iniugi. Thank you. Zap, hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, and it's a distraction. Exactly what Zap is saying. Sue. No. Thankfully, so I made a video on TikTok about the life insurance, and they reached out. They're working with us. So I don't want to say much more past that because I don't want to bash them if they're working with us. I also don't want to sing their praises because it was a mistake. But I'm not going to talk about who they are or what they did. It's available on the one video that's visible. The other one I made invisible just because I didn't want to, you know, add more flame to the fire, or add more wood to the fire, whatever the saying is. But it's been stressful as far as like the whole funeral thing. Ideally suing would be an option. The thing is, we don't have proof of anything in either direction. You know, like the hospital will say that the funeral home screwed up, the funeral home is saying that the hospital screwed up, and there's no proof of either way. And so suing would just be worthless. I went through some things because of this. Like people throw around the word traumatizing really, really lightly. Like, you know, somebody says something that hurts their feelings and they call it traumatizing because their feelings got hurt. But like this was like objectively traumatizing what we had to go through. We saw things that nobody should ever have to see, let alone with a family member. It's been hard. I'm probably going to eventually have some kind of reaction to it. I haven't yet, but I probably will at some point. 100% worth suing for, but because we can't prove it, there's nothing we can do, and I don't want to relive it and have to talk about it publicly, because if we sue, we would have to talk about it publicly, and I don't want to do that. So we're just kind of biting the bullet and letting it pass. We've been through enough. I don't want to go through more. All that being said, it's been a stressful couple of weeks. So I've been doing a lot of just like sitting around, mindlessly watching videos, not really paying attention to them, you know, playing video games to no end, just trying to keep myself busy. It's been rough. It's been really, really rough. But hopefully it'll all be over soon as far as like the stress part of it is concerned. We should be getting my dad back today after being cremated. Which is like, that's one chapter closed, and then we're just waiting for everything with the life insurance, and that's another chapter closed. And then when my father died, my mom gets all his like benefits from the government. That's been a hassle because my dad lost his like social insurance number, and so his I don't know if that exists everywhere, but it's like the number that they use to keep track of like your taxes and where you work and all that kind of stuff. He lost his card back in the 90s, and so we don't have any copies of it, and he had it memorized. And so we called his accountant. Get how stupid this is. Sorry, this is the last thing I'm going to say, then when it gets gaming. Get how stupid this is. We don't have his number, so we need to file with the government so my mom can get his benefits. But the government won't do anything until they have a social insurance number. Social Security in the States, social insurance number. And so we call his accountant to get the number so we can do this with the government, and she can't give it to us until we get his death certificate. So we call the funeral home, who says they can't give us the death certificate until the government turns off his social insurance number. But if the government is gonna have to turn off his social insurance number, why can't they just allow us in with proof of his death? Like, it's just this endless loop, and so we can't get the number until the government says okay, but the government needs the number for us to go in to be like, it's a mess. Thankfully, my dad's job, my dad was very good at like being friends with everybody, and so his boss obviously knows what happened, so his boss is going to give us the number because he has access to it, so we can apply for the benefits for my mom and get things going. Like, it's just been, everything's been a nightmare. But overall, we're all doing okay. You know, I've had my nights where I've cried. I haven't, after the first couple of nights, I haven't cried. Not because, like, I'm too manly, even though I am very, very manly. No, I don't know. I'm just feeling numb right now, but I think it's more because I'm exhausted. I'm physically exhausted just from how stressful everything has been. I am just absolutely exhausted. It has been a lot. It has been a lot. Sorry, I'm just turning on the full screen thing so I can start the stream with everybody. It's been a lot, and I have felt like exhausted. All I want to do is sleep. Like I said, I went to bed at like 5 yesterday. I was up at 10:45, so it's almost 6 hours of sleep. I feel like I slept half an hour. Last night I slept about 6 hours. 7 hours. I slept about 7 hours. The night before I slept about 7 hours. I feel like I haven't slept at all. But it's just the actual like exhaustion of it all. Not to mention, oh god, I don't remember what days it was. It was a couple of days that I broke out into like a fever, and it was like a constant fever, sitting at, in Fahrenheit, sitting at about 100, which is like 39, I think, in Celsius, something like that. Or not 30. I don't know, 40. I don't know, whatever. But it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. I was really not having a good time with the fever. You know, just not feeling well. But it was just the stress of it all, the exhaustion of it all, and just like it came on, it went away after a day. And now I'm physically doing okay outside of being tired. That's about it. Hello, Wendy. Nice to see you. Thank you. I can't see your name. It just shows a period on my side, but thank you. Yeah, and like I'm 37, so I'm not exactly young, but I'm not old either. It took its toll on me, you know. Preston, hello, nice to see you. But yeah, I feel like doing this is probably the best thing I can do, just to kind of get some kind of normal back in my life. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% yet. I'm probably like running at like 70%, 60 to 70%, somewhere in there. It's not fun, especially because like I work completely alone, which is not fun, because then I get in my own head when I'm by myself. And like right now, I'd be by myself this morning. Like Alana's asleep, Nora's at school. I end up just kind of sitting by myself, and that's when things get hard for me. At least in the evening, I'm with Nora, and she, bless her little heart, she's trying really hard to like make me laugh and stuff. And so she's being extra annoying, you know, little kid annoying. Not that she's like an annoying thing in my life. It's just she's like repeating jokes more often. She's like telling me random facts that are, for her, interesting. For me, just very like obvious things. But she's trying really hard to just kind of distract me. It's having the opposite effect. It's like grating on my nerves because she's trying so hard, but I get why she's doing it, so I don't say anything. I just kind of go along with it. We've been watching a lot of like Fundy, and she loves Afmao, which drives me crazy, but she loves that show, or that girl on YouTube that does like Minecraft and stuff. We've been watching Wadzi, we've been watching Mumbo Jumbo Green, like a lot of YouTube about Minecraft. So it's been, there we go, music done. Is this the music? That's the music. Okay. And so it's been a lot. And so like when I'm with her, she's trying really hard to keep me distracted. So when I go to work, it's the polar opposite. I'm completely alone. I'll throw on a show or whatever and kind of like put my headphones on and start working. And I've been watching a lot of shows about, I don't remember what the guy's name is. I don't follow him because it's very clear there are certain beliefs that he holds that I'm very like dead set against. So there are things that he says that like rub me the wrong way and frustrate me, outside of like personal things. It's just like he'll say something, I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. But he talks a lot about, he's a commentary channel. I don't know if you've seen this rise if you watch YouTube at all, but it's coming up on TikTok quite a bit, where they will talk about like the rise and fall of certain people, and they'll talk about like people who were really successful and how they got there and then how they destroyed their channel. He does a lot of commentary like that. And I fell into like one of his playlists, which was talking about like the depraved people of the internet. So like creeps, you know, a lot of like schmetophiles, stuff like that. And so it's shocking, and it's very it makes you feel so like disheartened about online presences, you know what I mean? So it like completely absorbs me, but then the video's over, and then excuse me, then my brain just starts, and then it's like really hard because I'm completely alone. It's like 3:30 in the morning, and it's like I can't even like message somebody to try to distract myself. So it's just like those moments really suck. So I'm still working on it, but this is helping, you know, trying to get some normalcy back. I've got a few videos that I actually recorded before my dad passed away that I was supposed to edit over the last few days to get up and going. But I didn't have the energy or the inspiration or the heart to do it. And I also, this is like the content creator in me is like, I'm worried because I posted the video about everything that happened with the life insurance. I posted the follow-up saying I took it down and I'm waiting to find out. And I was like, I don't want to post a video of like video game facts or whatever, and then have people be like, well, he took these donations and never said anything about it. But I also don't want to post another video about what's going on with the insurance company, because I don't want the insurance company to be like, no, this guy's just trying to like, you know, egg us on. We don't want to help anymore, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I don't want to be accused of like, you know, lying or trying to run a scam or like doing something nefarious. I'm just in a place where I can't talk right now because paperwork is taking a bit. I also don't want to make like a 30-second video, be like, hey guys, no update, paperwork's still taking a while, and then just kind of leave it there. So I thought maybe at least streaming I can talk and kind of just give people an update, and then people can kind of know, not that everybody's going to be coming to the live stream and seeing this, but still, at least I said it. You know, and we'll see what happens. But I am going to start making content again. I need to get back into making content. I need to get back into like doing stuff. As you could tell, like I haven't shaved, I haven't done anything. I'm just exhausted. I'm just exhausted. That's all it is. Don't worry about judgment. Yeah, I mean, the only part that's hard, 12, I'm gonna call you 12. What's a schmedophile, Jacob? It's somebody that's really gross. Yeah, I think the biggest part is, it's not even, because I had, when I posted my original video that I was gonna need help to pay for my dad's funeral, the amount of trolls that came through was pathetic. Like I had quite a few trolls coming through trying to act all edgy, clearly 12-year-olds who think that it's hilarious but would cry like babies if their mom or dad died. Because the phone that they're commenting on to try to be epic trolls come from mom and dad. So like pathetic. But anyway, I didn't reply to them because they're pathetic losers, right? But this, I'm not so worried about the judgment of other people. It's more like, as a content creator, especially on something like TikTok, you can become irrelevant very, very quickly. It's very, very hard to kind of come back from that. I don't think that my break is going to make me like irrelevant. I don't even think I'm really relevant anymore, but you know, it's not gonna destroy my channel. But the whole thing is, because there are so many scammers online, because there are so many shady people who play scams like this, like, I had cancer, please give me money, and then it turns out they never did, or they talk about like their kids dying and they never had kids, like stuff like that. My concern is more along the lines that like I'll be lumped in with those people, and then trying to prove people wrong is such a thin line to walk, because you either protest too much so people think you're lying, you don't protest enough so people think you're lying, you misspeak so people think you're lying, you have to go into like so much detail, but then you might say something that contradicts something you said earlier and people think you're lying. Like it becomes such a hard line to walk, and the longer it takes, the harder that line becomes. And you know, I haven't touched the GoFundMe, I haven't done anything with it, but the plan is that if the life insurance goes through the way it's supposed to, everything goes fine, then the money's going to come out, and well, the money's going to be, I'm going to try to refund it. If it doesn't go through with the refund, because I don't really know how GoFundMe goes about that, if it can't go through the GoFundMe, like to refund it, then I'm going to withdraw the money and I'm going to do some kind of donation to like a diabetes foundation, because my dad was diabetic for so long. But it's like, I don't want people to think that I just like ran away with the money and then like, you know, disappeared off TikTok until the heat died down, and then I started making content and ignored it all. So it was like, it's really hard to kind of find that balance, and I worked really hard on this channel, and so like I don't want something that factually happened to be destroyed by these stupid like drama channels that try to like drum up drama where there is none. Do you know what I mean? I know it's definitely a big chunk of me is just being paranoid, and probably because I'm watching all these commentary videos that talk about stuff like this. But it happens, right? And I didn't want that to be the case. But I'm also back because I need a distraction. I need something to kind of jumpstart my life back into normal, right? And kind of just get back into doing content and interacting with people, because like right now there's like 2 or 3 people that I talk to throughout the day, and then the rest of the time I just sit alone. And so I need to kind of get out of that mindset. You know, like I'm not in a dark place or anything. I'm just sad and tired. I'm sad and tired, you know? Yeah, we win, and that's it. The people who've been around for a while, they know I wouldn't do this. I've never, you know, been one to do this kind of stuff. And money to me isn't really important. Like I've got a decent job. It's the best paying job I've ever had. Pay for the work. It's not the biggest paychecks I've ever gotten, but it's the most I got paid per hour type of thing. And you know, I lead a pretty decent life. The money, you know, a couple grand is nothing in the bigger picture, you know, to risk everything. But people like to think the worst of everybody. And so like, I didn't want to fall into that window. The people who've been around, no, I wouldn't, I don't care. Right. Like if y'all were here when I started this stream, originally like way back in the day, you would see how budget I am. Like I'm all about saving money. Because like I built my own lights. I was using like a Rock Band microphone. I was using a Blue Snowball as my main microphone. Like I've always been budget when it comes to like money, because I grew up incredibly poor. You know, I was very poor growing up, and there are things that I was watching one video about a guy who destroyed his career or whatever, a big streamer. He's still a big streamer, but he like got banned from TikTok or from YouTube. No, from Twitch. He got banned from Twitch. He was a big like toxic gamer type guy, and then they demonetized him, then they rebanned him, and then he had a huge meltdown, and apparently he hasn't like posted anything. He hasn't streamed in like 6 months or something, and now like he basically does like recaps of his own like toxic moments on TikTok is basically what he does. I don't remember what his name is. It starts with a D. But his big thing that he was like proud of is that he went from like Section 8 to on top of the world or something. And I don't know if Section 8 is Canadian or not. I'm pretty sure this guy's Canadian. But it's like living in government housing and stuff. And like I come from the same place. Like when I was little, when we came to this country, we were in government assistance, and we lived in government housing, and like we moved out of government housing because my parents got education again, and they were earning too much money. And the way the government housing works here anyway is they take a percentage of whatever your income is. And once my dad got a job as a mechanic, he was making enough money that his income became a mortgage. And so he's like, I'm living in government housing but paying what I would pay for my own private home. So he bought a house eventually. And so like I come from the same place. Like I was incredibly poor. So to me, money isn't huge. And then I chose to be an actor, which, you know, for like 99% of us, that means you're going to starve for the rest of your life. And so I kind of made I accepted in myself that when I chose to be an actor, I was going to starve. So like money to me has never been a big deal. It's nice now that I have it, you know, like I drive a car that I'm very proud of. It's not like the latest and greatest, but it's a car I like, that I wanted, that I always wanted, and I have it now and I love it. I've got cool toys like my arcade and like cool lights and stuff. Like I've got stuff that I like. It's nice to have money. But I wouldn't risk everything for a couple grand, you know. I can earn a couple grand at work in a couple weeks. So like I don't need that. But people will still always think the worst of you, especially as your platform gets bigger. The worst people will think of you. And so like my platform is not huge by any means whatsoever, but it's large enough that people would think that I would do something like this. And it's not. So like the paranoid side of me like freaks out that people are going to think that. And so like I was on that fence of like, do I make a video? Do I not make a video? What do I do? But I need to get back into life. So I was like, you know what? I'll start by streaming, see how it goes today. And then maybe see how I do it on like either tomorrow or Thursday, and kind of play it by ear, see how I'm feeling. The nice thing is this just gives me a chance to kind of just talk, right? Because with my friends, I can talk for sure, and they've all been very, very good at like checking in on me, at listening whenever I message them about something random. But like, they all have lives too, so I can't like spiel for like 2 or 3 hours straight with everybody all day long, right? So this is nice for me to kind of get all that out, right? Section 8 is American. Okay, I thought it was American. This guy was Canadian, but he said that in his profile, and so I was like, I've never heard Section 8 referred to here in Canada. And so I don't know, but everybody knows American terms, so I was like, I'll say Section 8. If it's American, people are gonna know what I'm talking about. And if they don't, I'm still gonna say it's government housing, and people will know what that is. But yeah, you don't spend money at all. Yeah. Oh no, Merle, what happened? Yeah, are you sick? Yeah, talking with friends is different dynamic. And as you get older, people have responsibilities, and it's harder to like, it's harder to have your friends be there all the time, because we all have responsibilities. And I'm not saying that in the sense of like, my friends aren't there for me, nobody loves me. It's more of like, you know, they either have kids or they have full-time jobs, or like, people are busy, right? And so it's hard. Plus, like, I don't know, it's just the way my brain works. I'm very repetitive in the way that I speak. And so like, I'm not going to message my friends and repeat the exact same thing 5 million times. What happened? My screen turned off. Oh, okay. I'm not going to repeat the same thing 5 million times, even though I want to repeat the same thing 5 million times. You know, and there are things that like, how can I say this without sounding totally screwed up? Because I'm totally screwed up. I grew up in the 90s, right? Like, the internet, for those who don't know, the internet in the 90s was a very different place. I know a lot of you have heard that since, you know, the internet is pretty infiltrated by us millennials. But the internet was very, very different back in the 90s. The censorship on the internet was very, very different. And I'm not going on about like, we're being censored. I mean, like, there were things that were like objectively damaging on the internet. Things that nobody should ever see, you know, like having, oh God, my mouse is freaking out. Okay. Having videos of like, 2 girls, 1 cup, or the picture of the waffle, blue waffle or whatever, like those things. There was the 3 guys, 1 hammer, I think is what it was called. It was about these guys in Europe who had gone around and like decided that humans were really, really good at practicing for their carpentry skills and their accuracy at hammering nails. I'm trying to speak very vaguely. I don't want to get banned for this. And those videos were just available for people to watch. Like, you could just find them and they were there. Not like it is now, where a lot of that stuff is, you know, wiped by a lot of search engines because you're not supposed to see that kind of stuff. Those kind of websites were really rampant. And so like, we're all screwed up from the 90s because we all saw things we shouldn't have seen. Oh God, where was I going with this? Where the hell was I going with this? Was it Russia? It was Russia. Yeah, I can't even remember. It was such a while ago. Hello, Honda Mondeo. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Yeah. Oh God, Kazaa. Nelly Furtado dot exe. There's the song that I want. Where was I going with this about being screwed up? I don't remember where I was going with it about being screwed up. Yeah, the volume seems okay. I can't even remember. E-Bombs World. E-Bombs World. I remember when I found that place the first time. I don't even remember how I found it the first time. But I found it. This is how old I am. I found E-Bombs World. Oh, saying things a lot of times. Okay, let me finish this thought and then I'll go back to that. I found E-Bombs World when E-Bombs World used to update once a week. Once a week on Wednesdays, they would update. It was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon my time. And they would update. And then every Wednesday I'd go and look at all their memes and stuff. And then they started like a couple times a week. And then they went up to like once a day. And then now it's just like live every few hours or whatever. There's new stuff. But now it's everything you can see on TikTok. So I don't really go to E-Bombs anymore. But I used to go all the time. Yeah, so the repeating things a lot. I repeat myself a lot in general. But the things that like I experienced, like the traumatizing part of everything that happened, it's not stuff that people would want to hear. And it's not, I wouldn't really want to talk about it. There's been like one person that I've talked to about it, like fully openly. And like, it's not stuff that people are used to. And I worked in healthcare, and I grew up with parents who were in a civil war. You know, they weren't involved, but my mom was a nurse and my dad was studying to be a doctor. And so they saw a lot of like really, really gruesome stuff. And so like I grew up with those stories. So like I was already pretty numb to like traumatizing stuff. So it's hard for me to like evaluate what other people would see as like actually traumatizing and not. And so like there are things that I have running through my mind, but I don't really have anybody to like open up to about it because I don't know how they would react to stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like that part can get hard. So it's nice on stream to just kind of be able to just talk about just like anything and just kind of let my brain go. Because at least it gets that talking need out. You know what I mean? It kind of does look like Dying Light. I would argue Dying Light looks like Dead Island. Now, Dead Island 2 does look like Dying Light 2. Oh, God. I don't even know what I'm doing. I am not tough. I am Melon Lord. What's my block button? What's my block button? There it is. Oh, gross. Oh, I forgot about those ones that have flies. Oh, God. No, thank you. But yeah, so we could get all like philosophical about Dead Island and Dying Light 2. So Dead Island came out first. Then Dying Light came out and did everything that Dead Island did wrong. They did it right for the first ones. Then, what's my health button? There it is. Then, if I recall the timing, I don't know 100% what the timing is, but I want to say Dead Island 2 was announced before Dying Light ever was announced. Dying Light 2 was ever announced. So, in that timeline, definitely Dying Light 2 looks like Dead Island 2, even though Dead Island 2 came out after. It was announced way before, because Dead Island 2, this game was like in production for, God, like 7 or 8 years. So technically speaking, I guess, but Dying Light 2 did come out first, and Dead Island 2 was not running on this engine or was meant to be this way. Oh, crap. So it's whatever perspective you want to look at it. But why do they look the same? They both came out around the same time. They were both doing zombie apocalyptic gameplay, open world style. And like it or not, graphics nowadays, there's a benefit to like more powerful graphics for sure, because games looking better are definitely a bonus to better graphics. But at the same time, because the graphics are so much better, there's almost a finite set of options you can choose for what you can make your games look like. Do you know what I mean? Like, once you start going realistic, it's really hard to kind of change how games look. Unless you're gonna like put in a lot of work to be artistic, and the truth is, big AAA developers, they're not looking to be artistic and creative for the most part. They're looking for a buck, and as like easily as possible. So it usually breaks down to having the most generic graphics possible. You know, they're pretty, but they're not really anything to write home about. So it's kind of hard for them not to start looking the same. You know what I mean?
X is pretty effective. Meet you back in the ballroom. I'm on my way there now.
So it's understandable that games start to kind of look the same. That's why I'm a big fan of the whole indie development thing. Is indie games, because they're run by such a small team, they're forced to make games look good. You know, they're forced to kind of work with limitations and make those limitations do impressive things, whether it's artistic or sometimes using lower end graphics and making things look insanely pretty. So I like that about indie games. You know what I mean? Ben & Jerry's nice. 3 types. What are the 3 types, Merle? Hold on, I didn't see what you said, Merle. Hold on. I gotta get somewhere safe. Oh, screamer. No! Get away from me. I love pineapples. I haven't had a pineapple in a while. Where's my mouse?
You are hell on wheels, you know that? Fucking pleasure to watch. I checked back in with Hannah and everything's cool now. Thanks for your help.
Oh, Merle, you got a cold? Gross.
I had fun. Reminded me of some of the mosh pits I've been in.
Now I know it works. It should be simple to causticify a weapon for maximum melting instead of using acid. Until I do, though, here. To the victor go the toys.
Grand. Yeah, I'll happily take that for a test drive.
I'll head back to the canals and apply what we found here. We're all in an arms race now.
Oh, brownie sundae and regular brownie sounds yummy. Brian, I would argue that the vast majority of indie games that aren't cash grabs, I'll say that. Indie games that aren't cash grabs, indie games that are... Wait, what do I do? What do I do? What am I supposed to do? I didn't pay attention. I'm guessing it's just music for the sake of music. Okay. Indie games that aren't cash grabs. So like, you know, not like, what were they called? Devolver Digital, I think. The ones who sued, I don't remember her new name, but Jim Sterling. The ones who sued Jim Sterling. I can't remember her new name now. I think it's Jane. Is it Jane now? Or is it Jamie? I can't remember. Anyway, those people, those are cash grab greedy pigs. They give indie devs a really bad name, but people who are legitimately trying to run a business and make games that are worthwhile, the vast majority of them are so much better than AAA games. Almost all of them. The only thing that AAA games have on indie devs is money to be able to, you know, advertise their games or whatever, and in turn have better graphics because engines are very complex nowadays. I'm not a developer, but I know that they're super, super complex to get the games to do what you want. And the size of indie games versus AAA games. Like AAA games can give you 80 hours of gameplay because they have a bunch of random quests and stuff. Indie devs are way, way more focused and they're much shorter. You know, a really long indie game might be 10 to 12 hours. So like in those aspects, yeah, AAA wins. But the vast majority of AAA games are so outdone by indie games because the indie devs can just put so much more passion into it. I think that's one of my big things. I talk about it all the time. It's one of the reasons. Sorry, I'm trying not to like hiccup. I'm like hiccuping and like almost burping at the same time, so I apologize. Indie devs, I say this all the time. This is why I'm so into VR. Because VR is largely controlled by, oh, I got 2 guns, cool. By indie developers. Like VR is completely overrun by indie devs, and it's so much fun because they're willing to experiment. AAA developers find one thing that works and they kind of just stick to it. Look at Ubisoft. Every Ubisoft game is exactly the same. You know, there are bases, you have to climb a tower, and it reveals part of the map. Almost all the Ubisoft games are like that. And they're all open world with a lot of really boring open world quests that don't really add anything to the story. They're just boring. So AAA finds something that works, and then they milk it for every cent that it's worth, which in turn means nothing creative is being done, right? Whereas indie devs are always willing to try something. Whether it's going to work or not is still yet to be seen, but they will try something and see what comes from it. And a lot of the times it pays off, right? Yeah, indie games are just fun. There's passion behind them, right? Like, don't get me wrong, indie devs do have the same, you know, drawbacks as AAA when it comes to like finding something that works and kind of going with it. Like the big like 16-bit games that are prevalent right now in the indie world. Everything is going back to like retro style gaming. But they also know nostalgia sells, and people love nostalgia. But that limitation allows them to be way more artistic and way more creative in the way things look and feel. I think the indie platform is going to be kind of the big the powerhouse of gaming in the very near future. Like right now, AAA is still kind of what everybody waits for, but it's starting to change. People aren't as excited as they used to be because so many games are disappointing from AAA. But indie, there's less expectations. So when they are disappointing, it's not that big of a deal. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of AAA. I mean of indie. I'm a big fan of indie. Brian, hello, nice to see you. Exactly, Brian. AAA is a money project and indie is a passion project, 100%. Oh, I haven't had a McFlurry in a while. That being said, I do think that there are AAA companies out there that are still putting out a good product. Ignoring Cyberpunk, I'm still hopeful that CD Projekt Red will be capable of doing something, you know, worthwhile AAA wise, especially if the new Witcher is going to come through. Rockstar, although they're not releasing much stuff consistently, like they've kind of just been milking Grand Theft Auto 5. Whatever they do in the future is going to be good. I guarantee it. I don't guarantee it personally, but you know, I'm confident it's going to be good. Because they are so, they just got that pedigree to them, right? So there are AAA companies that are definitely worthwhile, that definitely put out good stuff. Some companies are trying to make a comeback. I'm very hopeful that this is kind of Konami's revival, you know, with Konami suddenly bringing back all these old IPs and allowing people to kind of relive those IPs. I'm hoping this will be the revival, that they do some good stuff with Metal Gear and with Silent Hill. I'm not expecting them to be, you know, revolutionary, but it would be nice to see. Oh man, was that a fuckboy zombie? I love it. But I'm hoping that it'll be decent. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this. This game is not. This game isn't game changing. This game is not a game that you're gonna look at and be like, this was a whole new you know, a step forward in gaming. It's a mindless hack and slash zombie survival game. There's nothing revolutionary about this outside of the gore engine that they use. But this is exactly what I want to play, so I'm okay with it not being revolutionary. I'm hoping that Silent Hill and Metal Gear will kind of be the same thing, where it's like, it's not mind-blowing, it's just more of good stuff. And so if they can, oh crap. And so if they can do that, how do I, is that it? That's it. If they can do that, this could be the beginning of Konami's comeback. I hope, anyway. I hope. Ooh, I haven't had frozen yogurt in forever too. Man, I haven't had a lot of really good snacks. I want frozen yogurt. Ugh. I want frozen yogurt. You know, I've never been able to get into Elder Scrolls. They've just never been my type of game. I did play a lot of Skyrim when the PSVR first came out, the first PSVR first came out. I spent a lot of time on that, but it was because PSVR was my first foray into VR, and the PSVR did not have a lot of games. It was very lackluster, especially when it first came out. And so Skyrim was kind of like the first AAA style VR game that came out. I spent somewhere between like 10 to 15 hours playing it, I want to say. I don't know, I'm guessing here. I can't remember for sure. I might have said 5 hours before. I don't know, but I spent quite a few hours playing it. And I was having fun, but I think it was the novelty of the VR that was making it fun. I've just never been able to get into those games because I need goals. Like if you well, it's kind of hard to see on TikTok, but like there's a set of goals on what I'm doing, and I can head to those and kind of move forward. In Skyrim, it becomes so wide depending on who you talk to that you get all these side missions, and then it's hard for me to know which one is the actual storyline and which one's just a side mission, and which one is like optional for the same storyline. Do you know what I mean? Like it's because side missions are just random things that are happening, but I feel like Skyrim is very much like, okay, you have to defeat this person, but then there's like 4 different people trying to get you to do it in different ways, and depending on how you do it, you're gonna make one happy and make the others unhappy. They're all going for the same goal, but each one is giving you a different way to do it, and although that's a lot of freedom that people like, I get overwhelmed and then I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what storyline I'm following, and like one time I'll follow one storyline, but then for the next mission I'll follow the other person's storyline, and now I'm remembering both storylines, but they don't make sense because they're from 2 different people that have sent you to the same thing. So like I get really, really confused easily. So that's why I don't do well with those games. But they're popular for a reason. I mean, for Skyrim to still be a game that people enjoy, what is it, like 12 or 13 years down the road? It says a lot about the game, right? It says a lot. Yeah, here's your goal. 250 side missions. Oh, man.
I was wrong about you.
You're not the first. Where are the others?
They're all in the gym.
Making it hungry. Yeah, I want snacks. I want snacks. I'm actually not very hungry, but I want snacks.
Oh, we invite for poor Andrea.
I tried playing ESO when we went.
Everything I do for
Alana and I played it for quite a bit. She played a lot more without me. Because when we started playing ESO, it was during a time where I was working day shift and she was working night shift. So she was up all night. And so she would play ESO without me on the PC that I built for her. And by the time I tried to play with her, she knew everything that was going on and I had no idea. And so I would get to a mission because she would do my missions because I was so far behind. But I would get to a mission and her ADHD is like through the roof ADHD. And as soon as we would start talking, she would skip through all the dialogue and then go and do something else. And I'm sitting there listening to the dialogue and it just felt like I was burdening her. And so then I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue and then I had no idea what was going on. And so the game became really boring for me really, really fast. She really liked it. I thought it was fun. But I don't know enough about the Elder Scrolls world to like the universe to really grasp everything. She had played a few of the other games, so she really understood a lot what was going on. I had no idea. I thought ESO was pretty decent though. Over 300 hours. Wow. Oh, I have so many, Weewin. I have so many. I haven't really been touching them because I haven't really had an appetite. Like I'm it's really weird because like I have a fat kid heart. Like I like to eat a lot. I overeat a lot, which is not good at all. But I can't go without eating completely, especially because I have I'm categorized as pre-diabetic, but it's not really. You know, I have a lot of the symptoms that you get when you're pre-diabetic. Like there's certain like skin things that happen when you're pre-diabetic. Like skin tags are a sign. I'm covered in skin tags. There are like weird, like it's not scaly skin, but it's like dark patches in your skin that you get under your arms and on your neck. And I have them under my arms, stuff like that. But I also, if I don't eat on a consistent schedule, my blood sugar just plummets and I get really dizzy. I get really irritable. It's really bad. Thankfully, I'm in pretty good control. My blood sugar never really dips below like 3.8, which in the scale I use, Americans use a different scale, but in the scale I use, like 4 to 7 is the range you want. But even now, healthcare is starting to like push towards 7 being a bit too high. Like they want closer to 5 all the time. Mine sits at like between 4 and 5 all the time, but sometimes it dips down to like 3.5, 3.7, somewhere around there, just enough to make me dizzy. So I don't go without eating, but because of everything going on, I feel really numb. And so like I go hours without feeling any kind of hunger whatsoever. And then all of a sudden because I'm set on my schedule, I eat because I know I should eat at that time. And then as soon as I start eating, my body's like, yeah, I'm hungry and I'll eat it all. But then as soon as I'm done eating, I start feeling sick because my body needs the food, but my brain is telling my body not to take the food. Do you know what I mean? So I haven't been eating snacks or anything really. Like I made nachos last night and those were really, really good. But like I ate at, what was it? Like 12. And then I had my nachos at like 7 p.m. And like I went 7 hours without eating. When it doesn't sound bad, but normally like I eat at 11 and then I eat at around 4 or 5. And then I eat again at around like 1 in the morning. So like I eat every like 5 to 6 hours roughly. I just finished dinner. DQ blizzards. I was looking at. I want to do DQ soon. I haven't done a DQ run in a bit. Yeah, I did nachos. I made guac to go on the nachos. I did salsa. I didn't make the salsa. I just used regular like pre-made salsa or whatever. But I did the nachos, and Alana bought these like salsa flavored nachos. So they had like a little sprinkling of seasoning on them. And then it was like the nacho, the ground beef with like the taco mix, and then I did like refried beans and spread that on there, and then I did like a layer of cheese, and I did that over and over again, and then at the end I baked it all, and then I put the guac on top and the salsa and the sour cream. It was really good. It was really yummy. Oh, but even now as I think about it, just I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat at all. I had been craving nachos for a while. Like really craving nachos. I just hadn't had them because we didn't have the ingredients. Can you tell limb damage? Let's do this. We just hadn't had the ingredients for it, but Alana had bought them earlier this week. And because of everything that's been going on, I'm up all day and she sleeps all day. And so I'm the one that cooks dinner and stuff. But because of everything that's been going on, I haven't really wanted to cook. I haven't really wanted to do anything. So I haven't really been cooking. We've been eating a lot of like fast food. She ordered pizza, or I'll do like stuff that's frozen that I had made, because I'll make like a big batch of something and then we'll freeze half of it so it'll last. Preston was super, super kind, and he surprised me and brought us lasagna. So we had that. I ate half of it because holy crap, that stuff was filling, and we froze the other half. So I have that left over for eating again in a week or whatever. So we've been kind of living off that. But then last night I was like, yeah, and she had brought avocados and stuff, and they go bad so fast. So I was like, you know what? I'll make it. And so she pulled the ground beef for me, and so I made it yesterday. Didn't really want to, but I'm glad I did because it tasted really yummy. It was so good. Oh, it was so good. Har MC? I have no idea. Nacho ASMR stream. Well, they're a day old now, so they're like soggy. There's no crunchiness. All you're gonna hear... Hold on. How can I do this? I don't think... Do I? No, I don't have access to it. Hold on. Do I have access over here? Oh, I can do it this way. Haha. All you're gonna hear is stuff like this. You don't want to hear that kind of noises. That's gross. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. My deceased father, not my brother. Oh my God. I would be a complete and utter mess if it was my brother. Not that I'd love my dad less than my brother or anything. Just, we all expect our parents to die eventually. We all know they're going to die eventually. And I expected my dad to die at a relatively young age because he was diabetic. And he never took care of himself, and he had a big stroke a few years back. So like, I expected stuff, but like, not that quick. But if it was my brother is like my best friend in the whole world. No offense, Preston. He's my brother, right? It's just like your brother, I'm sure. But like, he's my best friend in the whole world. I was even telling my mom, if I... one thing that's helped me with my dad a lot with losing him is that my dad was not the kind of person to call me. My dad never checked in on me. My dad was never one to be like, hey son, let's chat for a bit. My dad was very minimal on the phone. He hated talking on the phone. What does this one do? Yeah, let's do more damage. He hated talking on the phone to us. My dad was a jabber bug. Like, he was on the phone all day long with his friends if he had a chance. On his days off, he would be on the phone. I hated it when I lived with them because my dad was a loud talker. My dad had lost a lot of hearing, even though he refused to accept it. He had lost a lot of hearing. And he would yell when he was on the phone. And so he would keep us up because he'd be on the phone at like 2 in the morning talking to his friends. So he would keep us up. My dad was a big talker, but he didn't like talking to us on the phone because he just never had anything to say to us. And not in a bad way. It was just the relationship we had. And so my dad and I could go weeks without talking to each other. And so I had spoken to him probably about 6 days before he died. He had invited me to go see him at my brother's house, but he was going to have a bunch of friends over and they were all going to be drinking. And because my dad was so sick, I knew he was going to be drinking and it was going to really bother me. And like I told my brother, I didn't want to go there just to be mad at my dad. So I just didn't go. Which I regret now because that would have been the last time I saw him. But it is what it is. Nonetheless, what's helped is because my dad and I didn't talk all the time, there was already kind of that enough distance that I don't feel the loss as like tangibly as somebody else might feel who talks to their parents all the time. Back to what I was saying, but with my brother, him and I talk almost every day. If not, we might go 2 or 3 days without talking to each other, but we talk all the time. Throughout the day, he'll message me. He'll message me at like 5 in the morning, and I'll message him at 2 in the afternoon. Like, we'll message all day long. Even if it's just like stupid jokes that we found, or like we do the voices to each other that I do for my characters. We do those to each other. Like the voice, hey Retro, what's happening? He actually made that voice, but because him and I talk so much alike, we sound exactly the same. So we'll talk to each other that way. It's when we'll say, like, we'll make dumb jokes. Not even like anything witty, but it's stuff that the character would say and we'll say it to each other. Like the one day I was talking and I was, we've been going on and on because of when my grandmother passed away, we were going to get a small inheritance, really, really small inheritance. A few $1,000s. Not enough to be like, I'm rich, just enough to be like, I can pay some bills. But we would make jokes because people when they have,
Dream team is assembled.
hold on, I'm not ready to watch this yet. I'll watch it in a second. When somebody dies in your family, you get a lot of people talk about, they show it anyway, that I got like $1.5 million that it was inherited, or $200,000 inherited. We're gonna get a few $1,000s, and it's fine. We don't really care. But we have this ongoing joke that we're gonna be thousandaires. And so we always joke around about thousandaires. And so like anything that involves money that we talk about with each other, I have to like convert it to thousandaires. So like the one day, something happened at work that I had to do a little bit of extra work that night. And so I called him and I was like, okay, so I had to do this extra work, something that took like 5 minutes. I had to do this extra work. Now, because it's a holiday and because I had to work extra hard and because now I'm going to be late for the next job, I have to charge you extra. So I think it'll be fair if you pay me $1,000. So like really, really dumb, topical, like stupid jokes. I know they're not funny. But because it's with my brother, that's just how we joke with each other all the time. Or like he'll call me and then he'll be like, okay, so when we're thousandaires, we're going to rent a limousine. We're going to buy a monocle because how else will they know we're thousandaires? Like just stupid crap. But like he's my best friend. Now, if he passed away, I would feel it because him and I talk every day and we have these jokes and that voice and the characters and all that stuff. I would melt if my brother passed away. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to think about that. It still scares me. I was scared when I started thinking about my parents passing away when I was younger. Now that it's happened with my dad, it's hard for me to think of like the next 30 years that I'm going to be without him. But I'm still terrified to think of my mom dying. But eventually my siblings and I will get old and one of us is bound to die before the others. I'm hoping it's me. I don't want to see my siblings die. I would rather be the first one to go. But yeah, no, I would never want my brother to pass away. Oh, that would be horrible.
Damn, man. How long have you been bit for?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Shit, we got to deal with this right now.
Don't touch him. Go check on Andrea, see if she's okay.
Dad, this ain't no game, Emma. You know what's gonna happen to him. The same thing that happens to
Arctic, how's it going? Welcome.
This is my house. It is my rules, Sam. Go.
If he so much as twitches funny, you know what you got to do.
Michael, what happened?
Fine.
You're not fine. I'll get you help, okay?
Emma, don't look.
Don't even think about it.
You got bit. You gotta get
I
rid of it.
took you in. You owe me this. Put the gun away.
He's turning. Get out of here,
I don't know
Bjorn.
that.
Hey. The 2019 Best Supporting Actress Romero goes to...
Oh, my lucky charm. This is what
No, Har, you're kind of a dick.
Got the special
So I'm gonna block you here too. Bye.
proof. I just feel it.
Yes. Yes, you have the special blood. You're going to get through this. Michael. Michael. Michael, please wake up. Please.
Feck's sake, get away from him.
Fuck you! Why do you get to be the special one, huh? Who the fuck are you?
Whoa. Uh-oh. Right in the face.
Emma,
King Arctic Wolf, how's life? How are things going?
Get out of my house.
Damn. Yep. Yep.
he was turning. He nearly bit Emma. I'm sorry. I need to go. Emma's not taking it so well.
Ugh. You know what I've been watching? V for a forceful blow to the ground. Ooh. Ooh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. What else do I have? Oh, okay. Which one's this? Oh, it's just a jump kick. That's all I have. Okay. I've been watching Fear the Walking Dead. And, maybe the zombie to attack speed? No. Nah. So I watched The Walking Dead up until,
Emma can't do this. Don't go.
I think the series is over, right? That whole season I didn't watch.
Sam,
Hold on.
you think there's room for me and my family in his apocalypse fantasy? Once he gets inside Emma's panties, we're all fucked.
Hey, there you are. Sit
Hey, congratulations on graduating. That's awesome.
Michael!
right. Now on,
That's awesome.
no one goes outside except me.
You're getting out of my way right now.
I keep saying, don't trust those fucks. You're better off here.
Yes, stay.
Immunities are taken out. You don't want to use it? Fine. I'll fly solo.
Okay, learn the hard way. I got one last tip for you.
Do you know?
When I had to get around Banoi, I used the sewers. I ain't saying they're safe, but you can line them up.
Fair play.
You'll be back. Hey, Emma's pretty shook up. How about you fix her some of that motherfucking Yorkshire pudding shit she likes?
This is the end.
This is survival.
I still think this game is pretty.
Hang in there.
I like this game, like visually, physically, visually. I like this game.
Devil drives. Off to the sewers.
What are you planning to do after now that you're graduated, Arctic? But yeah, I watched Walking Dead up until the very final season. I haven't watched that yet. So I started watching Fear the Walking Dead because there was a whole bunch of seasons I hadn't seen. I think I'd only watched the first and like maybe 3 episodes into the second season. And Alana and I watched it again and we got to the same spot and then we stopped watching it. And so I started watching it at work. I feel like Fear the Walking Dead had the opposite trajectory that The Walking Dead had. The Walking Dead started really strong and then got weaker as the seasons progressed. I feel like Fear the Walking Dead started... Stop it, you stupid fly. Fear the Walking Dead started really weak and then like it stayed fairly weak for the first few seasons, and then the last 2 seasons that were out got really good. The final season is this season that's coming out, but the one that's already out was really entertaining. Like they turned it into like a full post-apocalyptic world, not like this, but like there was a nuke that was exploded and like the world was disintegrated and they were surviving through that. Like that was really cool. It made things interesting again outside of just like the plain people trying to kill each other, even though that was still a big part of it. I really liked it. I really liked Fear the Walking Dead. I liked it a lot more than The Walking Dead by the end. Although I liked The Walking Dead a lot more at the beginning. I feel like Fear the Walking Dead, especially at the beginning, had way less likable characters. Almost every character was really unlikable. Because like the one son who was a drug addict was more of a pain in the ass than anything else. Like he was more of a hindrance to the whole family, which was really irritating to kind of deal with watching. But then like the mom was like a Karen, and that was really frustrating to deal with. So like it was kind of a hard show to watch at first. But then as like the annoying characters kind of got wiped away and they added new characters, they became a lot more likable. Not to mention Jenna Elfman was introduced, and in like the early 2000s, she was one of the actresses that I was just infatuated with. And so like it was nice to see her in the show again, and I really liked her character in the show. Victor is my favorite actor right now outside of Daddy Pedro. I don't remember Victor's real name. I don't remember the actor's real name, but I love him. He is awesome. He is so easy to hate, yet so likable. Like he's very much a contradiction onto himself, which makes him so much more fun to watch. And the actor plays him so smoothly and so sensually without actually being sensual in anything he says or does. Do you know what I mean? Like usually when you have a character who's sensual, they're very lustful and it's always sexual what they're doing. But he's just very sexy without ever making reference to anything involving sex. Like it's really cool to watch how he portrays this character. I really like the actor that does him. He's a very talented man. The one guitar guy, hello, how you doing? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Things are okay. Things are okay. I'm still, what time is it? Okay. I'm still not great. You know, I'm just trying to distract myself basically. That's basically what I'm trying to do, is just get myself to feel a little bit normal, because I haven't felt that way in a while. Ooh. Damn, I didn't see that guy there. Oh, she didn't die. Ha! Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I appreciate that, guitar guy. Honestly, it has been very eye-opening to see people's reaction to my video, to the first video. The second one didn't get as many views, mainly because obviously it didn't have anything super intriguing. It was an update video. Update videos tend to not do well on TikTok, so people never find out what happened after the initial video. But it was really eye-opening to see how many kind messages there were, how many people not only cared, but like were actually concerned, and were... I got a few trolls that were in there, and the people that actually came and commented on the trolls, calling them out for just being garbage humans, it was very... it was humbling. It was very humbling. You know what I mean? And then I got a whole bunch of donations, which were, like, shocking. I didn't expect that at all. So, honestly, messages like what you just said really help. It's been so eye-opening. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you've taken to even just come in and say something. You know what I mean? Yeah, we win. That's exactly it. Stephen Ogg. Let me see. No, he was out. Oh. So, The Walking Dead had their final season. The season before that, he already wasn't in it. It was like 2 seasons ago that he had been taken out of the show. He was good in the show, but he was literally just the guy from GTA 5 in that show. I don't remember his name, but he was just that guy. I think he did such a good job with that character. That's kind of the only thing he's ever gonna do now, and not because he can't do anything else, but it's because nobody wants to see anything else, which is kind of a bummer because he is a very good actor too. But yeah, exactly what you said, Weeman. He's not predictable, which I really like. And he's the guy who plays Victor, and he has this sexiness to him that is just so well done. I did the Rocky Horror Show many times. People know it as the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but that's the movie. The stage production is just called the Rocky Horror Show. And I played my Frankenfurter very similar to him. Now, mind you, the Rocky Horror Show is much more sexual, so obviously it's not the same. But I played it a lot more with that, like, unpredictable, dark confidence where, like, you believe you can just convince everybody of everything. I find that a lot of people play Frankenfurter. If you don't know the show, Frankenfurter is a transvestite. He's an alien. He's very sexual. And the whole show is about, like, the stereotypical, like, high school sweethearts, the prom king and queen get lost in the woods after driving a car and they get a flat tire and they end up in this like crazy castle with like all these weird people. And so like the whole thing of it is these kids dealing with something that they would never see in their regular life. And a lot of people play Frankenfurter as like the openly sexual shock value character, where it's about just being shocking and not like trying to be layered in any way. And I played him much more akin to how Victor is in Fear the Walking Dead, where there was more to do with like the confidence in like, I know everybody wants me and everything I say, everybody's just gonna believe, no matter how insane what I'm doing or saying is. So I like that about Victor, is that he has that same confidence where like, no matter what I say, and how stupid it is, I can convince you of anything. And just that, you know, you're an idiot, and I can tell you to your face that you're an idiot, and you'll still think that I think you're amazing. And that's the way that I played the character. Now, obviously, I cartooned it up a lot more, because stage productions are much more cartoony. Obviously, Frankenfurter is much more cartoony, so I played him much more like this. Spoke closer to, I guess, kind of like George Takei. Oh my. I didn't do it that much, but like it was much more this kind of voice, but very unlock a mind, unmind a lock. It's the same as the beginning of the end. Do you follow? Just very like, I just said something super deep and you need to be impressed, which Victor does a lot. So I love that character. Love that character. I still haven't seen the series finale, Weewin. So I actually don't even know what you're referencing yet of the regular Walking Dead. What the heck? Oh, that was gruesome. That was gruesome. Well, the one guitar guy, honestly, it means a lot. It's very... Whoa. It was very eye-opening to see how kind some people could be, so I appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you've taken.
Danny, I'm in your debt pattern.
Exotic Gods, yes. I did a follow-up to it. Give me just a second here.
What was that bulging bag of
Give me
blood?
just a second.
Me. Bursters, I call them. Like walking bombs. Welcome to Shangri-La.
Exotic Gods, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. You can leave your shoes on in the sewer.
Oh, sorry. It's a mass mate's day off.
This place is class. How long you been down here?
Oh, how long? Yeah. Long time.
Hey, it's Dwight from
War.
Walking Dead.
People don't like my face.
Sure. People are dicks when you don't fit in. When did you serve?
Gulf War? I flew helicopters. My bird got shot down. Could have been a lot worse.
So, you're a big film buff, eh?
No, why?
I
gotcha.
Yes, you're spoiling me. I had no idea.
Shit, huh? I like the movies. You know, I get a little bit.
The last thing I watched with The Walking Dead was, I think it was right before he went, or it was the episode where they took him when he was at the garbage pile and he was knocked out. That's the last thing I saw.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, why don't we watch Omen to Kill, man? Omen to Kill, only one of the greatest movies ever made. I've only seen it like 20 times, man.
Emma, I just came from her.
Then I might be a couple seasons back. Yeah, I might be a couple seasons behind. I don't know. I kept out of touch with it.
What's she like? I hear she's really great.
Give me. I'll answer in just a second.
She's going through it just now. Hey, plenty of room in that big pile of rocks. You should mosey on over and join him. Tell him Danny sent you.
What? No. Why would I do that? I mean, this is my home.
Go on, say you will. Sure, and they could use your skills over there.
I really want to watch Omen to Kill, man. Huh? That's a really great movie. Come on, sit yourself down. I'm gonna find the DVD. It was here somewhere. I was only watching it the other day. Where is Omen to Kill? Yeah, found it.
TV with a built-in DVD player.
Come on. Will you please watch it with me?
God, when old projector screens were the big screens of the day. Some of y'all younger ones won't remember this, but these were impressive back in the day.
Maybe.
Some of the first HD televisions.
Right, well, best get a move on then.
You know, I could, yeah, maybe I could, just, if I could, just, I'm sorry, I really need to watch Omen to Kill.
Enjoy your movie night. I got this.
Why are the sound effects during credits?
I nearly changed my name to Storm once. See ya.
Why are there sound effects? It's all credits. I'm so confused. Okay, so Weewin's old enough to have seen these. I don't even think that was plasma. I think that was a rear projector screen. So back. I lived during an era. Okay, wait, hold on. There was a couple of things I wanted to answer to. So Exotic Gods, yes, I did a follow-up video after that one where I talked about Zengo, where somebody suggested in the comments, and now I'm not saying Zengo is doing this, there's a good chance Zengo is trying to get as much promo as they can, whether it's good or bad promo. They're just trying to get as much promo as they can to get as many people to use their wallet for nefarious reasons, because crypto is like hand in hand with a lot of scammers. But I'm not saying that that's what they're doing. There's just a good chance there is. That is what they're doing. But I got a suggestion that what happens is somebody sends you an email pretending to be from Zengo, and then there's a link there that you sign up with. This is what happened to... There were a few streamers that this happened to, where they go, hey, you want to be part of our program and you can promote for us, we'll collaborate. They offer you good money. You click on their link, and then a lot of companies will ask you for your analytics. Like with Deep Silver, I had to sign in with, I can't remember what it's called right now. It's a website that gives you keys. And that's how Deep Silver works, is they send them the keys, and then we get the keys that they release. And Lurk It is what it's called. But to get through Lurk It, they need to be able to see how many concurrent viewers I have, how long I stream for, what I'm streaming, and the only way they can do that is by having access to my account. So I have to sign into my account through their website so they can see that stuff. So these scammers will email you, say, hey, do you want to promo with us? You say yes. They'll offer you good money, and then they'll ask you to sign in, like fill out their sheet on a website, and then you sign in so they can see your analytics. But the scammers, what they do is they give you a link to a website that will actually encrypt or decipher everything you type in, and then they'll have your login information, and then they steal your account, and then they start spamming other people with whatever they're trying to sell. So there's the person that commented said that they got the same email, and when they clicked the link, it took them to a website that was not Zengo. It was a different website. So either Zengo is running the scam and doing this, or a different person is spoofing a Zengo email, saying that they're from Zengo and they're not, and then they're giving you this website to sign in on so they can steal your information. And because Zengo is big enough to be real and be found easily, people will believe it and then they'll go with it. So one of those two options, definitely not a very good promo. I've gotten quite a few promos from big companies that offered to pay, and almost all of them aren't even willing to pay me like $500, let alone $7,000, especially at this point when I'm not really producing a lot of content that's getting tons of views, and I'm not posting super consistently. It doesn't make sense. And for a crypto wallet, which is something that I don't promote on my channel at all, it wouldn't make sense for them to offer me more money because I would be a good fit. Like I'm very off base from what they would be trying to promote. So for them to offer me $7,000 doesn't make sense when somebody like, what are they called? Raid Shadow Legends reached out once, and I asked them for $250 and they wouldn't pay me. Not that that's against them. It's just my numbers weren't right for them to spend that kind of money. Especially at that time, they asked me back when I was like sub 60,000 followers. So like if Raid Shadow Legends, which is a gaming thing that like promotes with everybody, wouldn't give me $250, why would a crypto wallet give me $7,000 when I've never talked about crypto on my channel? I don't have anything to do with crypto. And like I talk about retro video gaming, like it doesn't fit. So obviously it's very scammy feeling. I don't know if it was a real email or not, but I have zero interest in crypto anyway. But yeah, definitely stay away from crypto as a whole for the most part in like big investments. Like you see some people putting in like $50,000 into crypto and then they get their rug pulled and then they lost everything and then there's nothing they can do because it's unregulated, right? I'm just not a fan of that. But yeah, yeah, exotic gods, and like it could be real, right? It could be real, and the whole thing is the thing with crypto, and this is why I wouldn't go with it, is that they will pay you legitimately if it's real. They'll pay you legitimately. They'll give you good money, and you can make really decent money. Like I know that they can pay 6 figures for some people, right? And so like they can do quite well. The problem is that once they get you on, if it's nefarious users, you know, people that are really looking to steal money from people, they'll get you on and then they will rug pull and you might have nothing to do with it, but you took the pay. And then what happens? They're going to lump you in with that theft, right? So even though you didn't actually have anything to do with them stealing your money, you had nothing to do with them running the scam, it was just a payday for you. It's seen as either, well, he sold out or she sold out. I don't know if you're he or she, but you know, they sold out, or it's they were in on it and they scammed their audience. Either way, it's a lose-lose if it runs the risk of being a scam. And crypto, a lot of the times, is a scam. And so like, I wouldn't want to be embroiled in that, especially when my viewer age is like 15 to 25. So like, it's a lot of younger people who won't have a lot of money. And so like, if they put in $1,000, that's a lot of money for them. I don't want to be accused of having tricked them into a scam, right? Or that I sold out for a scam. I don't want to be involved in that. I'm not saying all crypto is bad. It's just there's too many bad actors out there. There's not enough regulation to stop the bad actors. So it's hard to tell who's good and who's bad. Mind you, it's a crypto wallet, so it's a little bit different. But it could also be much more dangerous because it doesn't matter where you're putting your crypto. For like investment, it's still the wallet, and that wallet can lead access to a lot more money. So it's like it's just too shady for me to want to be involved in. But I would definitely just be weary about companies offering that much money, right? Because like you're at 200K, I'm at 143K, I think is what I'm at. I think the most I've made from like a paid promo was like $150. Most of the stuff that I get is free stuff, right? My views aren't amazing. Like I'm not doing a lot of viral stuff right now because I don't do anything that's viral worthy. I don't do trends. I do long form content, not long form, evergreen content where like if you watch it now or you watch it 3 years down the line, it still the same level of relevancy, whereas like viral stuff is only good while it's viral and then it's useless. So like I try to stay with more evergreen content. So obviously I'm not going to get paid a whole bunch of money for the stuff that I do, but $7,000 just seems so off base. Speaking of which, I was going to make a video of it. I don't know if I'm going to, I might. I actually recently got a promotional offer from a company, and they were trying to offer me to work with Temu, which I guess is like Alibaba style of a website, you know, Chinese dropship stuff. But as I got the email, I was scrolling through TikTok. You know, I'm not in the right mindset to take on deals right now anyway. But I was scrolling through TikTok and a video popped up of an artist who was having his art stolen by Temu and how much of a headache it was for him to get that art removed from Temu. And then they just reposted it right away. So I emailed the company back because they're like, oh, we're like a representative company and we're working with so many big deals and we're wanting to offer for you to work with Temu. They're doing a big promotion right now, blah, 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 blah. And that video popped up. So I replied and I was like, you know, I'm all for working with new companies. I take my brand deals very seriously. There's just a little thing that's a bit of a quirk, and I don't know if it's going to be an issue with this. I was being like a complete dick, but I did it on purpose just because I was irritated by watching what happened to this artist. Like, there's just this little quirk that I have when it comes to working with companies. I just don't want to work with companies that steal things. And, you know, seeing as Temu steals stuff from hardworking indie artists, I just feel like my quirk might be an issue when it comes to this. And then I linked into the video of the artist talking about how Temu stole all their stuff. And I was like, but if you have other companies that are willing to work with me who aren't thieves, I am more than open to it. So please let me know. They never responded, of course, because I was being a jerk. But like, you get these offers from really, really shady companies, and sometimes you just have to be really careful that is the paycheck worth how slimy the company is, because you are going to be linked to that company. And there have been companies that have sent me stuff that the product is just garbage. And I used to actually email them back and be like, hey, your product's really bad. I'm going to make a really bad video about this, or would you prefer just kind of calling it even and leaving it? But some of them will send me a product and make me sign a contract, and then I have no choice but to make a video on it. And most of the time, I'm not super nice about it. But you try really hard to be like, you got to try to keep yourself in good standing, because you don't want to just sell everything. I've had a few friends that have sold the garbage that I've gotten sent that I've refused to sell. And I know it's garbage product, and they're singing its praises, and I'm just like, if people go and buy this stuff, they're gonna lose faith in you because you're selling stuff that's no good. But I'm of the mind, I don't care about money, right? So I'm of the mindset of like, I'd rather have my audience be told the truth than to make a couple grand and burn a few people who might actually listen to me. But it's just kind of the way I work, you know? Don Tavis, hello, nice to see you. They sent it to you too. Oh man, you got banned at 350k. That sucks. That really sucks. So much work. All down the drain. I'm so scared I'm gonna get banned. I'm so scared. I don't do anything controversial, but I'm still scared that I would get banned one day. Don Tavis, I haven't played it. I'm not interested in playing it. I'm really disappointed that it has done as badly as it has. Don Tavis asked what I think about the Gollum game. I'm really disappointed that it has done as badly as it has. I was hopeful that it was going to be interesting. I'm not surprised it's bad, because it felt like it came out of nowhere. And how much can you really do with Gollum when Gollum is not exactly a superhero level character? You know what I mean? Gollum is very much why am I putting these in here? I could just get rid of these. Let me just scrap all this stuff. It's all garbage anyway. You know, I felt it was kind of a weird character to choose. But I was hopeful that they were going to do something with that character. I'm very underwhelmed by everything I've seen. It just goes back to my whole series that I've done about like video gaming dying, mainly because of AAA companies. And it's a perfect example of that. They are so invested. Wow. Well, I'll keep the gun out just because it's long distance, long range. But which one of the two? I'll get rid of. That's a shotgun though. I don't want. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. So it takes me back to the whole like AAA companies, CEOs are very much wrecking the gaming industry because it's all about a quick dollar than it is about actually making product that's worth it. That being said, I won't be surprised if Gollum goes down as like the worst game of the year. It's appalling what this company has done and how they've like not really addressed anything. You know what I mean? There hasn't been any like, hey guys, we're gonna pull the game and work on it, kind of like what they did with Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? They pulled it down and they weren't selling it anymore while they repaired it. There's none of that. And it's not even like, well, it's got some issues. Like the gameplay is garbage, the graphics are garbage, the acting, like all of it is garbage. I will not be buying the game. I have zero interest in buying the game. I was interested when it first got announced. Now that I've seen what I've seen, it's not even well, maybe one day. Like Cyberpunk, even though it was really rough when it came out, I still want to try it eventually. When it goes on like a deep enough sale, I'll try it. It's not my type of game, but I want to see what it's about. Gollum doesn't have anything. Like nothing that makes me go, yeah, I need to try this. I think my biggest feeling towards Gollum, because I don't really care either way. My biggest feelings towards Gollum is that why did it have to come out when everything is happening in my personal life that I'm not making content? Because this video would have been perfect for me to continue with my video gaming is dying series. To talk about how that's a perfect example of how gaming is all about greed and not actually about quality. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. But outside of that, I don't care. I hope not a lot of people spent their money on it because it definitely a ripoff. Definitely. Don Tavis, you know, if I don't know if you've read the books. The books are a really long read. I had watched the movies when I was like 16. So we're talking 11 years ago is the last, or 16 is not 11 years ago. 21 years ago. Holy crap. I watched them 21 years ago. Maybe 20 years ago. Something like that. I was like 16, 17 years old. Maybe 18. I don't know. Around 20 years ago, I watched the movies. I didn't really remember much about the story. I remembered the overall story, but I didn't remember the details. Then I went back and Alana was in like a big kick about watching Lord of the Rings. And so she got like the radio play versions of them where it wasn't reading the book and it wasn't the movie, but they like rewrote the script and did it as if it was a radio play. And I listened to those and they were really good. I listened to the first two and they were really good. And then I went back and actually listened to the audiobook being read. And it was definitely a really long listen, but I listened to all of it. And I listened to the Hobbit trilogy as well. And Gollum is a very interesting character. The movies didn't do him justice because Gollum is very conniving. Gollum is very evil in his confusion. Like he's a very split character. Like he's such an innocent character because he really doesn't have control over what's happening. But he's also a really conniving, evil, dangerous character because he is overtaken by the ring. And so like all of that makes him a very interesting character to work with. But there's only so much you can do with a physically weak character versus such magical characters like orcs and stuff, right? Like they're huge beasts and Gollum is this tiny little guy. So you're pretty much relegated to sneaking missions. And how much can you keep a sneaking mission interesting? After a couple of things, you're going to be kind of bored. So I get it that they chose an interesting character, but I get what you're saying. There's only so much you could do with that character. So like, yeah, I don't know why they went the way that they did. It was obviously going to be a disappointment, but I was still hopeful that the long shot would have been like, not a great game, but an interesting game. But it wasn't even that. So that's, I'm not surprised that it's as bad as it was. Trilena, hello, welcome. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. I'm playing Zelda anyway. Yeah, I was hoping Gollum was going to be good. Cyberpunk's really good, futuristic GTA style. That Gollum game, deranged. Yeah, I didn't get Cyberpunk because it wasn't something that was interesting to me. I'm not big into the whole Cyberpunk scene. Not that I'm against it. Not like I think it's a bad scene. It's just, whatever. What's this one? Physical damage. Whatever, let's try this one. But it was just not something that I'm like, oh man, I need to play this. It's like zombie games. Zombie games, a lot of people are totally done with zombie games. They don't want to deal with zombie games. But for me, it's like zombie games. I want a zombie game. So I get excited about it. Cyberpunk, I'm kind of like, whatever. So I wasn't super hyped about it. I've never played, like, it's based on a board game or something, right? I don't know if it's a board game or like a tabletop game, like an RPG, I think. I don't know. I don't know all the details. But yeah, anyway, just wasn't something I was super interested in. And then when it came out as broken as it was, especially because it was multi-plat,
Your favorite.
Yeah, go
or
ahead.
multi-generational,
Change of plan. Flying solo. Or
it was just definitely not something that I was willing to spend full price for.
The sewers?
ding ding ding. Operation.
But now that it's fixed, I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard that it really, like, kind of saved itself. The damage was kind of already done.
Head for the Sterling Hotel on Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
I'll be waiting.
Sterling Hotel. Got it.
So, like, the damage was already done, so the people who were kind of sullied by what happened, it's going to be very hard for them to kind of try it. But outside of that, I think everybody who still gave it a second chance has liked what they've seen. So I'm interested in it. I just, because I'm not a huge fan of the whole lore, I'm definitely going to be waiting till it's like $15-20. It'll probably be a little while till then, but I'll probably wait till then. But I'm definitely going to try it because I think it'll probably be interesting. I don't know. Trilena, no worries. No worries. That's okay. You never played Zelda? You should. Zelda's awesome. Zelda's great. But yeah, I was really hoping Gollum was going to be good. But yeah, Gollum was just... Because even like the ad that I saw, I was like, well, graphically it could be really pretty, and I'm very, very much swayed by graphics. And I'm not talking like, oh, 240 hertz. I'm talking like ray tracing and like nice textures and that kind of stuff, right? If a game is really, really pretty, I'm whoa.
Boomer. Back it up.
Whoa!
Oh. What? It blew the caps clean off.
It blew up. Did she call him a boomer? Okay, boomer. And so I will be swayed by pretty graphics for sure. So I was hopeful when I saw like the CGI trailer. I was like, well, it could still be really pretty, especially if it's next gen. You know, it's going to be one of the first next gen games that are exclusively next gen. It might be worthwhile. Oh, did I shock myself? So I was still hopeful that it would be decent. And then the reviews started to come out and it's just like, no, definitely not for me. Just really not for me. Yeah, Cyberpunk looks pretty decent graphically. Again, I've only ever really, because once it was fixed, I stopped looking things up. Because I like to go into games blind. I like to not know anything. I know a lot of people like to, you know, see some gameplay and stuff, but I find the gameplay will give away certain like monsters or bosses or whatever, even if it's early game. I want to go in completely blind when I play a game. So I haven't looked anything up since they fixed it. But the gameplay stuff that I saw when it was still broken, it wasn't like super impressive, but it's also a game that's multi-generational, right? So like the Xbox One, the PS4, they were bound to somewhat affect the graphics on the PS5 and all that. So I am I'm very interested in seeing what it does. But I'm completely blind to how pretty the graphics are. I have hopes. I have hopes that it's going to be decently pretty, though. I am a big fan of ray tracing, so I do think that ray tracing will add something to the game. So I'm excited for that. $280 plus Koroks. Jeez, I don't know how you guys have so much patience to do that. I don't at all.
Main septic tank's all blocked up, so the sluice gate's locked. Apparently, a hydrostatic management system will magic it clear, if I can find it.
Yeah, you loved Cyberpunk? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling more...
Hydro... Who's who's a what's it system.
Hydra who's a what's it. Hydra who's a what's it. I love it. Definitely more open towards trying it for sure. I'm just gonna wait till it's like on a deeper sale. There's other games that I want to buy right now. Run. But Cyberpunk definitely looks interesting. So I always play Fortnite. See, and for me, I don't have the patience for a game like Fortnite. That's why I can't do, what are they called? Roguelikes? I can't do roguelikes for that exact reason. Because I don't have the right kind of patience. What did that do? I don't know what that did. Oh, okay, what if I...
Simple game of match the numbers, get the right pressure.
Match it with what, though? 45?
That's my leaky problem fixed.
Oh. Okay, I think I'm kind of getting it. So I'm very much like my patience, that's what I was saying. My patience doesn't work with games like Fortnite or roguelikes because you're kind of just forced to start from scratch again, and I'm not good at that. I would much rather have a game where I can make some progress. Do you know what I mean? And it stays with you. And with Fortnite, I don't like the fact that I have to wait in a lobby for enough players, then you're in. Obviously it's popular, so it's not a huge wait, but still, it's a wait for the lobby, then you're in. Then sometimes you could die immediately and then wait for the lobby again. And that kind of sucks, especially if you're the first to die on your team and your team is still alive. It's just like, oh, you don't want to leave because you're gonna like affect the players or whatever. Or like you go through all this work to be like the top 20 and then you die. It's just like all that work just to die at like the 19th player. I don't want to do that. And so then you have to start again. And it's like, for me, I don't have the patience for that. Whereas like the Koroks are at least optional. So like, I don't have the patience to go look for them, but at least I don't have to go look for them.
Take that, Mrs. Murphy. Who's bad at maths now, eh?
Versus like, you know, a roguelike, same thing. A roguelike, you're going to play a game. Oh, hold on. 75. So I do 45. That's 55, and that's 75. Okay. But yeah, I definitely don't have the level of patience to do all the Koroks either. That's 100% for sure.
Just one to go.
45, okay. Why is it still at 10? Hold on. Do I have to turn this again to turn it off? Oh, that's what... Okay, cool.
Danny, shit shifter extraordinaire. That sluice gate should be open now.
Save the world. That's the original game, right? Like that's the Fortnite that originally came out, right? Okay. I guess I just have to run or shoot. I guess that's the... Because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know. I talked about this a few weeks back. That Fortnite was a single-player game, and the...
Oh, there's the bell.
And the Battle Royale was just kind of like a free promo for the single-player game, is what they intended. But I've never tried it. I was actually gonna play that one But enough people started playing the Battle Royale that I was like, well, I'll try the Battle Royale, and it's free, and everybody likes that one, and nobody's talking about the single player. I'll just play the Battle Royale. And then I just never bought the single player, because once Battle Royale blew up, the single player just turned into nothing. Like, they stopped supporting it. Like, they just ditched it. And because everybody was in the Battle Royale, I was like, well, nobody's gonna want to play the single player with me, so I just never got into it. But I've heard it's pretty fun. I'm hoping to buy Breath of the Wild, or what's it called? Whatever that game's called. Tears of the Kingdom. I'm hoping to buy it eventually. Move. But I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. Those never go on sale, so I'm not expecting it to go on sale for me to buy it, but I'm hoping to buy it eventually. It does look fun. The fact that this blowy uppy guy runs is kind of scary.
Just keep pushing through mounds of shite.
Is that it? Am I good to go? Yes, I am. Okay.
Ugh,
Huh.
This is worse than that.
Nice try, Lena. Yeah, I might try it. I might try it. I do like zombies, and I do prefer single player than the online multiplayer. In that case, now that you've said that, yeah, I can see you having more patience for that versus Zelda for sure.
Just flush it away. Out of sight, out of mind, right, boys?
Oh man, me too, we win. I've seen a few of the inventions that people have made. Tears of the Kingdom honestly looks so fun. And I hope to get it eventually. What time is it? Okay. I hope to get it eventually for sure. It does look really, really fun. There's one guy who is, he's a little bit of an antagonist online. He doesn't really do gaming content per se, but whenever he talks about gaming, it's always an antagonistic position that he takes. Basically, he... How do I change my... I don't know. I don't know how to change it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to change my... Oh, curveballs. There they are. What the hell? I have all these? Why didn't I know about these? I might want to use these two together. Maybe throw in the meat bait and then throw that. Okay, that might help. How do I switch it though? Like that. Okay. He's always very antagonistic when it comes to the games he's talking about when he talks about games. Is this guy on YouTube, on TikTok? Like he did a small series talking about like how the 16-bit graphics that we see now in indie games aren't accurate, and a lot of people got really upset with them. But I get what he was going at. Like, the original 16-bit graphics look that we had back in the 90s was for CRT, televisions. And he spits. And so the whole reason it looked the way it did was specifically because televisions worked a certain way, and and the graphics would blur, which would make the graphics actually look more realistic. And so he would show that and people would argue with him, and then he would show it on a CRT and blah, blah, blah. And it was interesting. But he took very much like the way he talked to everybody was like, you guys are idiots for not understanding what I'm saying. Rather than kind of like being like, hey guys, like I think I was misunderstood. This is what I actually meant. So it was just very antagonistic. So he's been talking about Tears of the Kingdom, and he's going on and on about how like Nintendo fans complain about games not performing well. But then they say that the Nintendo fans talk about how like third like other companies make video games for like the PS5 and stuff, making fun of them that they don't perform well. Yet like Pokemon performs badly, and Breath of the Wild performed badly because clearly the hardware wasn't good. And then he talks about how like Tears of the Kingdom's on the same engine, and now everybody's surprised that the game isn't performing well, but it's on the same engine as it was with Breath of the Wild. But like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the things I remember reading was that it was not that it was a new engine, it was just a different engine, because it's using the same engine as Arceus, whatever it's called, the Pokemon game. It's using that engine, the same one as Splatoon, whereas like Breath of the Wild was a separate style of engine because it was made for the Wii U and it was ported to the Switch, so it's not exactly a direct comparison because Breath of the Wild was a port, whereas Tears of the Kingdom is specifically for the Switch. But he's so antagonistic and like talking down to everybody about it because his stance is Breath of the Wild was gonna be bad no matter what, performance-wise, because it's on the same engine. But it's like that. But that was a port. Like you're completely glazing over the fact that was a port. So like it doesn't. Your argument doesn't really hold water. Do you know what I mean? I'm loving it. I'm loving Dead Island. I think it's really fun. It's a mindless zombie slasher, but it's a really fun mindless zombie slasher. Some say it means torture of the gods. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Trilena, if I ever get a chance to buy the game, I'll definitely keep you in mind. I tend to be pretty solo driven, when I play games. I have a hard time playing with other people. Oh God. Are you attracted to the thing? Like if I do this, will you go to it? No, you won't. Okay, this isn't good. This isn't good. Don't puke on me, dude. Don't tase me, bro. Sorry, I'm old. I have old memes in my mind. Hello, ladder. How's it going? Welcome. But Chazai, I think is how you say your name. I think it's really fun. You have to go into Dead Island with the right mentality, though. A lot of the negative reviews that I've heard of Dead Island almost all revolve on the fact that it's a ridiculous zombie slasher, open world, mindless game. There's a lot of judgment that people have towards that, but they kind of just forget the fact that the whole point of playing Dead Island is for a mindless zombie slasher open world game. Like that's literally what the whole point is. So it doesn't make sense to be mad at this game for not being something different than what it is intended to be. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like saying you're mad at Call of Duty because it's not a battle royale. That's not what it's supposed to be, you know? Or at least it wasn't what it was originally. I don't know if it is now, but still. So like I would say just be weary of knowing what you're getting yourself into. That's it. If you know what you're if you know what you're gonna play, you're gonna love this game. This game is awesome for the right audience. It's honestly a very, very fun game. It's just not for everybody. Yeah, no, definitely. This game, it's pricey. It's pricey for sure. It's not something that, you know, is an easy sell at full price. For somebody like me, yeah, it's worth the full price. But I've been a Dead Island fan for a while. I'm a big zombie fan and have been for a long time. So like for me, it's just an obvious buy. but it's definitely not an obvious buy for everybody because it's genuinely a mindless zombie slasher with a very topical story. It's not going to revolutionize gameplay in any way. It's not doing anything super exciting, but it's super gory, which is really fun. It's got some pretty impressive graphics when it comes to the violence. But yeah, I would definitely say wait for a sale, but definitely a buy, just on sale, not exactly at full price.
Not now.
No, I wouldn't.
The main septic tank. Delightful.
I haven't played the 4th Resident Evil remake yet. I've been waiting for the PSVR version of it. Because I'm planning to buy the PSVR 2, even though I know it's probably not going to be supported after a year. It's probably going to be a failure for PlayStation. But I'm still hopeful that it'll be fun. So I'm waiting for the PSVR version of Resident Evil 4. But I have played Resident Evil 2 and 3, the remakes. And I've heard the Resident Evil 4 remake is quite possibly the best out of the bunch. So I would probably say those are probably a better purchase. That being said, those games are very finite in what you do. Like, there's just one path you can really follow. Whereas this game has a bunch of side missions, there's a bunch of random exploration. There's some replayability when it comes to that, using different characters with different, like, abilities and stuff.
Open sesame.
So...
What the shit?
It kind of depends on what you're looking for. But I would say that if you're looking for, like, if you're comparing quality head to head, the Resident Evil remakes are probably a better purchase. If you're looking for dollar per hour value, this might be a better purchase if you compare them neck to neck. Like, if you're going to spend $50 on one or the other. But I would probably go more towards Resident Evil. I've never played Dead by Daylight. I've heard really good things. I'm just... One, I don't have a lot of friends to play with. Two, I don't really like playing with people online. So Dead by Daylight would not be a game for me because I don't really play online. So I would be very bored of it very quickly. It's one of the reasons Fortnite fell off for me, like, way before for everybody else. Because, like, I had a few matches with, like, moderators and stuff when I was streaming on YouTube a lot. But eventually I was like, yeah, I kind of want to play by myself, and I can't. And then I started playing with randoms online, and it was so boring for me. And so Dead by Daylight would be even worse because that is more team-based, and it's very limited on how many people you're playing with, right? It's not like Fortnite where you can have 3 people on your team, but it's 100 people you're fighting against. And Dead by Daylight, what is it, like 4 people versus 1 or something like that? I don't know the exact numbers, but it's way more limited. Dead by Daylight is 100% not a sell for me. I would buy garbage games 10 times over before buying Dead by Daylight because I would probably get more use out of a garbage game. And I'm not saying that to say Dead by Daylight is a garbage game, it's just I wouldn't use it, so it just wouldn't be worth the money for me. How the hell do I get out of here?
Keep moving. Got to keep moving.
Oh, over there.
Oh, feck me! I need to get out of here.
Let me out, let me out, let me out.
Demon spawn.
Hello?
I do.
Are you receiving? This is Dr. Reed.
Hey, Danny here.
Give me just a second.
Doc, the things I've seen, all that melted flesh the army's been flushing, it's here, and it's fucking alive. Growing, evolving,
Ew.
Missing biomass. That's why it didn't add up.
Biomass?
Doesn't matter now. You need to get out of there.
I hadn't noticed. I'll be in touch when I see sunlight again.
I love this character. She's such a smartass. It's hilarious. She's really funny with how sarcastic and like just a smartass she is. I do play Elden Ring. I have been playing it on the stream. I'm doing it a couple times a week normally. Today I only did this game because I'm not I don't know if you've been around long enough, but my father passed away like a week and a half ago. I'm still kind of in the mourning process. I'm still kind of struggling with that. So streaming right now is more just of a distraction. And Elden Ring, I'm at a point in Elden Ring right now where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm underpowered for a lot of the places that I'm able to access. And I'm feeling incredibly lost in the game. And I struggle when games don't really give me a direct place to head to. And Elden Ring is so open world that it doesn't have a direct place to go to. And so I'm at a point where I'm struggling with the enjoyment of Elden Ring. And because I'm emotionally not in a good place because of my dad's death, I feel like I would end up resenting the game and the stream would just become not fun for me. So I chose to play this today instead of Elden Ring because of that. It's just not a good place for me to be in to try to get through something that I'm already struggling with to begin with, game-wise. So I haven't been playing it. I will probably go back to it once I'm feeling a little bit better mentally. You know, a sudden death is kind of hard to handle. And so I wouldn't want to just turn this stream into me being salty the whole time while I'm playing, because I'm not the kind of salty person that like rages and makes a big scene to be funny. At least I just get negative and then it's not fun for anybody. And so I don't want to do that to the game because I have enjoyed Elden Ring up until now, but because I'm so lost, I'm just not having fun. I need to grind for a while and I don't want to do that on stream. So I picked this, which is a bit more mindless. It literally gives me a goal and I can just head towards it whether I'm paying attention or not, and it moves the game forward. So I am playing Elden Ring, I'm just not doing it right now. That's all I can really say about it, but nothing too bad. Yeah, exactly. I'm just playing whatever I'm kind of up for that day. You know, like I've been playing a lot of Divinity Original Sin because it is just a lot of wandering around and just doing fights, and the fights are so like it's a turn-based RPG. It's like an easy mode of like a Dungeons and Dragons style RPG. So I'm able to really take my time with the decisions I make and what I do, and I can save and resave and load, and like it gives me a bit more freedom with the choices that I make. So I can make stupid decisions and go back and try again. So it kind of relieves some of the pressure, and I can spend 40 minutes on one fight. So yeah, this light is definitely dying. I switched them over to the other side to see if maybe it was the connection or whatever. The light is dying. That kind of sucks. It's not even there we go. It's not even responding to the control easily. Whatever. I'll have to buy another one. Oh, I didn't even turn on my light behind me. Oh well. So it's like a nice mindless game. I've also been doing like mindless Minecraft stuff, just trying to like turn my brain off. So like I might do something like that. I might do Minecraft on my next stream, and just I'm like rebuilding my house, so I might just work on like building my house next stream, just so it's nothing that I'm like super concentrated on. Because I'm still not fully I'm trying to say it without like sounding worse than what it is. Like my brain just still isn't fully there. I'm still in mourning. I'm still like, if it was up to me, I'd be in bed just like watching videos mindlessly and like not showering and stuff. But I'm showering and stuff because I like to kind of maintain that, and I have to go pick up Nora and stuff. So like I'm trying to kind of maintain some normalcy in my life. And the only reason I'm streaming is because I'm trying to get something normal in my life that doesn't involve me just sitting in silence. You know what I mean? I've done a couple of videos. I haven't done one recently, not since this setup was done. But I am it always seems like I'm like I get told that I'm negative a lot, right? But it always seems like I exaggerate how like shitty this year's been. I'm going through a divorce as well. Not really a divorce, we were never married, but we're broken up, and like she still lives here. She's eventually moving away. So like it's a lot. My grandmother died, that breakup, and then my dad died all within the span of a year. My grandmother's anniversary for her death is in June. June is in June. I think it's June or July. Her birthday's on one and her death was the other. I can't remember which one of the two. I think it's in June. So like within 1 year, I had all this happen. So it's been a lot to kind of take in. Anyways, what I'm getting at is because I'm going through that breakup, I am going to be completely revamping everything. Like everything's going to be turned around. I was originally going to set the stream room in like a proper bedroom and get it to be like a proper studio. There's a chance I might not now that my dad has passed away because the little like den that's right here is a lot smaller than the bedrooms are. But because my dad is gone now and my mom is a widower, she lives with my brother. But there are days where she doesn't want to be there because he's got kids and they need their privacy and she wants to give them their privacy. And so I've kind of opened my door to say like once Alana's gone and stuff, I might set up a bedroom that she can come and stay at once in a while so she can come here for like a week or two and then go back there for a week or two so she doesn't feel like she's annoyed by us and she also doesn't feel like a burden to us because she's kind of between both of us, so not one of us has like this huge burden in her mind. Not that my mom would ever be a burden. So like I'm still not sure what's going to happen to the setup because like if my mom comes to stay here, I'm not going to set up the stream in the bedroom that she would end up being in. But I'm also not going to set up the stream in the living room that she would use. So I would end up either like leaving this living room the way it is or setting up in what was the den before, or keep my room in the den and set up where my bedroom is supposed to be and set up that as my studio. Like I haven't fully decided yet what I'm going to do. So I haven't really done a room tour because this might not be around in a month or two. And there's no point in doing a room tour just to do one again in a couple of weeks or in a few months. Because I'm gonna have to tear everything down. Plus, because I know I'm gonna be tearing it down, I haven't really taken care of it. I've really let this place kind of fall apart. Can you see it in the video? I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Look, there. The LEDs are like falling off the shelf and I haven't bothered fixing them. And there's this weird buzzing that the lights do. That's why I have green back there, even though green isn't exactly the nicest color. As you just saw, my light just died. I can't. Oh, yeah, it's not. There we go. Turned on. The light is dying. Like there's just a bunch of work I have to do. So I haven't really done a room tour lately because it's just a mess, but I will eventually. I will. Yeah, Josiah, it's been a rough year. It's a lot to kind of take on. It's a lot to take on. It's definitely a lot to take on, but it's out of my control and it's not due to anything that I directly did. Like the breakup, obviously I had a hand to play in. You know, obviously I did things that led down this path. But I didn't do anything drastic, right? Like it wasn't like her and I yelled at each other and fought all the time. It wasn't like one of us cheated or anything like that. It just, we grew apart and we don't mesh. We want different things out of life. And so little things just eventually ate away at the relationship instead. So it's not like I can blame myself for anything. My dad dying, out of our control. My grandmother dying, out of our control. Like there's nothing that I can say, oh man, I could have done this differently. So I'm not beating myself up for anything. I'm just exhausted. Like that's all it is. I'm just exhausted of constantly being in this like stressful state of this like sadness and happiness and sadness and happiness. Like I'm just tired. That's all it is. But I'm doing the best that I can to take care of myself. This is a nice way to kind of unwind that and take care of myself, which is nice. There's stress with content creation, obviously. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Things will get better. Tyler, how you doing, man? I saw your video. Was it video or picture? I think it was a picture. Maybe it was a picture. I think it was a picture of all the stuff you got from EB. That's so cool. Or GameStop, whatever name they're using now. It's so cool. How's the chair? I've heard so many good things about that brand. How's the chair? Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I'm gonna be heading out. I gotta go grab Nora in about a half an hour, 20 minutes. Hey, what happened? Why did I disconnect? What happened to the... Did the internet stop? No, YouTube is on. TikTok... Oh, TikTok like froze up for some reason. That's weird. Maybe my internet dropped for a second. It looks like my internet's like glitching out. Weird. I have no idea. You can live in that chair. I've heard good things. I bought a cheap gaming chair and it really soured me on the whole gaming chair thing, but everybody kept going on, no, you need to try their chairs because they are actually more supportive and comfortable, and they're much more ergonomic than regular gaming chairs are. That's why I use a mesh. You can't even see it on camera. That's why I use a mesh chair, because I wanted something much more ergonomic. But I've heard very, very good things about them. It looks really cool. It's a really nice chair. You got a lot of really cool stuff. I will, Nikki. I'll give Nora a hug. But yeah, I'm gonna be heading out. I have to go grab Nora in like 20 minutes. It was really nice to stream. I'm gonna try to be back on Thursday. I can't make any promises. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. It kind of depends on where I am. You know, even this morning when I woke up, I really didn't want to stream, but I had set a goal that I was gonna stream today. Whether it was like an hour stream or not, I was like, let's just do an hour and see what happens. And if I enjoy it, I'll stay longer. Ladder, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome. And I wanted to just kind of give myself that easy way of getting off the stream, like in 1 hour. And if it goes longer, then great. If it doesn't, I'm not going to beat myself up for just an hour. And if I only do that 1 hour for the week, that's okay. It's not like it's me just being, you know, negative or me being lazy. It's a big impact that I've gone through. And a lot of you don't know the full extent of what I went through, but just trust me when I say it wasn't what normal people experience when somebody passes away. Like, the experience wasn't normal. It's a lot more traumatizing what I went through. And so I'm allowing myself the ability to just kind of put everything off if I want to. But it was really nice to stream for a few hours and just kind of turn my brain off and talk and play and just not really worry about what's happening. So I'm going to try to be back on Thursday, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see where I am mentally. And maybe I'll just do some mindless Minecraft. I've never done Minecraft on the channel, but I'm a big fan of Minecraft, so maybe I'll do some mindless stuff on Minecraft. I don't know. But today was a good day. Today was really nice when it came to streaming. I feel good about it. I might start working on some of the videos that I have pre-recorded and just kind of start posting some stuff here and there. I got a couple of ideas for some series I want to work on, so we'll see. I'm not gonna, you know, push myself too hard. But streaming is nice because it's a lot less stressful planning. Like, streaming, I'm able to just kind of talk, whereas like my videos, I have to make sure I like write the lines and have something interesting to say and like edit and all that kind of stuff. Streaming, I can just kind of sit down and go, for now anyway, which is nice. So that's kind of the plan. Thank you, Josiah. I appreciate you, the kind words. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out and chatting and having a good time. Yeah. Trilena, we win. Honda, Nikki, anybody else who's watching on TikTok that I don't see your name, Tyler, Josiah, the person with like the symbol as their name. I don't know what the symbol is called. Dylan, Deranged, all you people, Dontavis. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for spending some time with me. And yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Should probably eat soon. I'm not hungry, but I probably should. But yeah, maybe I'll see you in a day or two. We'll see how I'm feeling. I really appreciate everybody hanging out, though. It was nice. It was nice to shut my brain off and just play for a few hours. All right, everybody, have yourselves a good day. You take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. TikTok, see you later. Yeah, Tyler, we'll talk soon. All right. See you later, everybody, and bye. And Twitch and YouTube, I appreciate you all being here too, and I will hopefully be back soon. Yeah, I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. There are days where it's really hard. Last night was really hard for me. This morning was rough, but not bad. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. All right, everybody. See you later. Take care. Merle, I hope you feel better soon. I hope you get past that cold. My cough is finally almost fully gone. I still cough a little bit, but it held on for a couple of weeks. It sucks. All right. See you later, Merle. Take care.